Scaler 454 here, and welcome back to the channel. In the last update video I said I needed to do some updates to the benchwork. First thing we're going to do is add some extra leg supports in the middle because there is a droop down there in the center, so we need to bring that to level. We're probably going to do the same roughly in this one. Probably right about in this section right here, because if we go to our layout plans, so this is what we're going to be working on right in here. This outboard kicker or out kicker, what do you want to call this, is 12 inches on the layout. Now this one I have right here is only like 4, so we need to remove this, cut a new piece of plywood and put that in. But because the benchwork's going to be so much farther out, I think I'm going to have to add some extra supports to it. So that's the idea. Well, let's start working on it. Because I had success with these before, I'm once again going to use these adjustable foot levelers. I like to notch the bottom of the 2x4 because in case I ever have to go completely bottomed out, it will sit flush on the 2x4. I will put a link in the description, so if you decide that you'd like to buy some, you can find them there. So I'm working on this section of the layout that was drooping down, and I kind of had a feeling this was going to be the case, but I didn't want to rip the table apart. But it's not just simply a case of the this section drooping down. This piece of lumber has an extreme crown to it. So as you can see how it lays like this. Now this is obviously a bit accentuated, but you can see how much of a gap there is. Now I have a different piece of lumber right here, and it's much straighter, so I'm just going to switch the piece there. I'm still going to keep the center post in there and then put a support beam to go across, but I think this should fix it. So we're making some progress. I got the benchwork leveled reasonably well. I'm pretty happy with that. The next step is to work on the upper level up there. Especially since I have the bench cleared off. Let's do it now. Originally, I was going to go with 2 inches, and then I changed the plan to 2.5 inches, and now I'm settled on 3 inches, which is kind of showing that as you build these, you make a lot of changes. Nevertheless, I think 3 inches not only will work better, I think that it will look better aesthetically because for the difference between the upper and lower levels. So we're going to try to make that happen. So now I got to put these little blocks up so I can lay my plywood down, and I'm doing this by myself, so this should be fun. So now that I have these little screws poking through here, I'm going to try to get this as level and straight as I can, and then solid. So this is where I got to. As you can see, the upper section is complete, basically at least. Once I figure out where the grain elevator is going to go, I can put this extension on just to, give it a better surface, but I'm not 100% sure where exactly it's going to go yet. That corner section right there is really kind of just in mock-up still. None of that's screwed down. None of the foam is even glued down just yet. But what I figured out was that where that little tunnel's going to go, it was going to be very tight with the plywood. So basically I channeled out a section of plywood right in about that section right there. And then I'm just going to run the foam board on top of that, and I think that's going to be strong enough. This curve on the track right here, I think this is going to work somehow once I figure out like proper radius. That right there is a curved switch, and then it's going to be a bit of a tight radius to get to the bridge, but I think it's going to work. At least I hope it's going to work. So we'll see how that goes. The section right here, as I mentioned earlier, that is now 3 inches. I went from the plan of 2 inches to 2.5, and now, as you can see, we're at 3 inches. That is also an incline with the bridge. I didn't plan on doing that. I actually had it originally planned to be right about there, was going to be where it became straight, and then the bridge would have been, you know, level. But I figured, you know, let's utilize as much space as we can to get up to that 3 inches. So the bridge is on an incline. That is the 2% incline kit from Woodland Scenics. I gotta say, that product is great. I love it. Makes for doing these inclines with curves so much easier than I think with doing it by, you know, chunks of wood. I also use these the Woodland Scenics foam nails. Great product again for just, you know, temporarily putting stuff down. I can put links in the description for that. One tip that I learned for myself was start at that end and work your way back. Don't go that way and come this way, otherwise, yeah, you know, you have to do it again, most likely, which I did. So that's the idea. I could basically move all that back and take that section right there and 24 inches, which would be about that. But I'm not sure I really want to do that. So, but anyways, we definitely got a, you know, a good portion of, you know, the plan moving. I should mention about the plan. On here, you can see here, get it focused. The original plan was to run 2 tracks, an inside line that kind of curved through there. I think I've abandoned that idea, and we're just going to run a single track around and up, because I just didn't see the benefit really of having an inside line. I'm like, what's it really going to do? So we're going to abandon that. It's going to be so much easier just to run a single track around that than having to run an inside curve. So that's the plan. From now to the next stage is, well, really, I can't do anything until I get some backdrops. I don't know how people do it so well when you're running an inside backdrop from the inside wall here, because so much depends on that and how to mount that and how to do transitions between, you know, different scenes. So there's a couple different websites out there that I'm looking at. Also different heights. Some only offer 12 inches high. Some can go as high as like 36 inches. And, you know, obviously the more paper, the more expensive it gets. And I really don't want to spend $500 on backdrops. But, basically, I can't do much until I get that, but I want to get those soon so I can start laying some track, because once I do that, then this will get a whole lot funner. So, if you guys liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and thanks for watching.